14-hour flights are rough. But to me, honestly, any flight that's probably longer than 2 hours is pretty much the same to me. And I also realized with the previous trip that I do feel homesick. Because I've explained to you guys how I have perfected or almost perfected living comfortably over time with my setup and stuff. And usually, even if I get, the PC and stuff provided, it's just not the same. Sometimes, the desk is too small, the chair is not as comfortable, or there's not enough space to fit both my laptop and monitors, etc. I am okay with adapting to my environment. I do feel, I do miss where everything is catered towards my needs, in a way. How I should provide something close to work housing. I'm sure management probably also thought about it at the same time. It's not like a here's a place, you were staying here kind of thing. Like, it's not very ideal from a security standpoint or various reasons. I mean, on paper, like, a lot of things sound very, like, it would make sense. Like, they would have, whole dormitory where people can just, the traveling overseas towns would go and stay. But, like, there's a lot of problems with that if you think about it. Or if you'll be like, oh, but why don't you just come up with a 3D studio in the Americas? But if you think about it, one, it costs quite a lot to build a 3D studio. Two, if it was built, for example, with slightly lower spec equipment and stuff, North America is pretty big, Like, you're gonna have to travel anyways. So if you're going to travel anyways, I guess this is the question a lot of people would think about. They're like, why don't they have a studio in the Americas? Like, if you're gonna travel anyways, would you rather go to a studio with lower spec equipment, or would you rather just go to Japan where they invested, like, the best of their tech, In the end, it's like, it makes more sense to choose travel to Japan. It's not like you just build the studio and it's done, no more costs. There's upkeep, you have to have staff there. It's not like the talents themselves run everything by using the studio. Security, all kinds of things. So it's not like the possibilities haven't been considered. It's just, there's a lot of things behind the scenes too that's not realistic to make it work sometimes. Yeah. There's a lot of things. And it's not like we haven't looked into, like, renting at already existing studios. But, like, I have to say, the costs in the Americas, in Europe too, I think Kiara looked into that before, is quite high. Renting is quite expensive. It's, like, basically the same as, like, music rights to copyright. I saw that IRyS talked about it a little bit, but, like, to sing one English song, it probably costs... depending on how you use it, especially since our lives are monetized too, it probably costs, I don't know, nearly as much as the entire live. Who knows? Way too much. Many digits. Yeah. It's also a problem with translated lyrics as well. Like, we'd have to ask permission to officially translate it or use official translations and stuff. There's a lot of hoops to get through that I guess some don't know about. A lot of hoops. And sometimes you weigh the options and in the end it's like, it's not really worth it. Sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes it's already available. But it's not like we don't look into it. It's just, I guess, we don't really say it unless it comes up. Yeah, time and money, the foundation of society. Do you think it's easier for non-corporate VTubers content creators? I don't think it's easier per se, but you have to know that all fan creations, secondary creations, are always in the gray zone. And of course, if you have bigger influence, it is more important for you to follow the procedures as strictly as possible so it doesn't become a problem. But that's a whole different discussion altogether, I feel. That's why, like, technically, if you actually look into the laws and stuff, selling fan art and stuff would technically, is a gray zone. But the companies don't strike them down unless they overstep their boundaries, kind of thing. Like, there are situations where, the IP owners will step in, but copyright and stuff and everything is just complicated. But just know that as a bigger entity, I guess, corporation, to have, let's just say, like, one person's action might make it difficult for everyone involved in a way. So I know it might be frustrating that there are so many restrictions and stuff, or a lot of hoops to go through, but that's just part of the responsibility of being a part of a bigger group in a way. It's just how I always thought about it. I mean, there are benefits too, like if we have a good relation with other IPs and stuff, they have a good image of us, then we get opportunities down the line too. There are always pros and cons to everything. It's always hard to find the balance, but finding a way to make everything balance and work, I guess, comes with the job. Ina is forming a thought. I should have a little GIF that pops up whenever I'm thinking. The loading GIF.
Hello, no. No, hello.